I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
We are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we are back with parts 3 and 4 of Kaguya-sama Love is War movie thing. Yes. The first 2 parts we have watched a few days ago, and I loved them. It's nice to be back in the world. It's bittersweet to see Ice Kaguya back, but I'm loving what they're doing with the characters right now.
I'm loving to be proven wrong here. In this instance, I'm totally okay with being proven wrong with anything that I thought of Kaguya-sama at the end
And
of
how
the
it might
finale.
be the actual
and
end,
how it might be the actual end. And I am so happy to have been proven wrong and shown that there was so much more that kind of needed to be uncovered.
Yeah, and talked about. I potentially could be proven wrong as well in the, scenario of Miko Ino and Ishigami. Anna, you're a big stan of that couple.
From the beginning.
From the get-go.
Yes.
And I just love Ishigami with all my heart, so I don't want anything bad to happen to him, so I'm a little overprotective, but Miko Ino's a great character. But we also kind of have another...
They'd be so good together.
We have another player entering that arena at the end of where we left off, and that was Maki. You're the only one for me.
You're the only one for me, you.
I'm kidding a bit, but without further ado, I'm excited. You ready?
Yeah.
Cool. We're gonna watch both parts in this one video this time around. But yeah, let's go.
I see a harem romance anime in the making. Maki, Miko, Tsubame all chasing after Ishigami.
And that's before they figure out and discover Ishigami also has an e-girlfriend on Discord. We need a harem show for Ishigami. Diners, drive-ins, and dives for Chika and Ramen. And then we have Kaguya-sama Love is War for these two.
Chika on Food Wars.
Yeah. I've never seen Food Wars.
I'd love to see you watch Food Wars.
I like food. Not a huge war guy. I mean, this war is pretty cool. I don't know. Kaguya loves that though, right?
Wow, back to season 1.
Nice shot.
Is he too tired to think of it?
He's getting better.
Aww. No, chaos theory.
Sweetness is justice. Uh-oh.
How can you say no to that face? Okay, now we're alone.
Whoa. Come on. No! No! Oh!
人を頼ってはなりません。人を使い、人を操り、怒りや悲しみを顔に出してはなりません。泣くなどもってのほかです。篠宮さんにはできない人の気持ちがわからないのよ。わからないんだから仕方ないじゃない。から目線で、あんたなんてママに言われて仲良くしてるだけなのに。私だってこんな性格に生まれたかったわけじゃない。離れようと思った。そうすれば。誰も傷つけずにそうすればするほど言葉はトゲを増し多くの人を傷つける結果平穏が手に入った。それよりずっと安堵感が勝る一人の方がずっとなのに
When she jumped in the water.
生まれて初めて
Yes, and then he got that.
できてしまった。拒絶することに慣れてしまった私が人に近づきたいと思ってしまった。受けるたびに胸が痛くて。泣いてるの？泣いてない。まで嘘をつこうとするのね。もういいでしょ。あなたなら会長に優しくできるでしょ。ダメ。なんでよ。人間が嫌いだって。これっぽっちも優しくない。そういう部分をなれないの。私はあなただもの。でもここで退場はダメよ。あなたが会長にキスしてもらうことって可愛くない。篠宮かぐやの半分にそうしてくれたならきっと幸せで死んでしまうわ。
でもらった。私が見よう。
He's connecting the dots. He was the one to suggest that it was love, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, dude.
That's the best doctor ever. This isn't the first case.
I know what I'm doing.
I believe it.
Super casual about it.
I believe it. See, he knows these things. It's the best reveal. Kashiwagi's about to be a bride.
母の希望で幼稚園受験したんです。全然ダメで。小学校受験も失敗して、母の興味が俺から離れていくのが肌で分かったですね。俺、家から出て行った時も、いつか迎えに来てくれると信じてもう受け入れてもらえないのはどこも同じです。
虚勢の一つも張れねえで、女にモテるかよ。
でも、それがハマった。俺と勝負しろ。万が一にでも俺が
そんなことしませんよ。
負けるのが怖いのか。
は？
These shots are incredible.
名を名乗りなさい。
俺を個体認識するようになった。全体が俺を認識するようになった。白金みゆきとして。それまで空気だった俺が。
社交性仮面をかぶったようだね。
Mask.
篠宮がキスしたのはある方の俺ですよ。いつも全力な好きな人に好きになってもらうには自分を作り上げなきゃいけない。あの篠宮に折れるくらいのことをしなきゃ。
貫き通してみればよいと思うよ。
でも彼女泣いてたわよ。
Thank you.
君を感じているんじゃないかしら。
Who are you?
君を看病してたわ。女が里いのは君が一番知ってるはず。いつも君がなんて結構そそるわ。
I love this person with all of my heart.
来て良い話ができない。
自分を晒すのは怖いです。
どうするんですか、かぐや様。
My favorite question.
会長の頑張る姿が好きだけどそれが全てじゃない。ふと見せるか弱い面にグッとくる。それくらい血にもわかるのよって。
What a shot, man. Oh my god. Do you think Miyuki feels like if he lets that down, Kaguya would leave just like his mom?
Maybe.
Herthika.
会長は無理をしなくなるのかしら。
あいつには心配かけてしまった。
篠宮。どうだ。心配かけてごめん。
練習ですよ。に話せないと言うなら、会長になりきった私で練習してみ。
Creativity for me. Bonus points.
正確にシミュレートしますか。
She is gonna be literally the middleman typing each person's response right now. It's gonna be like they're talking to each other.
異性として見てるのは間違いない。
まあいいわ。続けましょう。ないあたりとてもそれっぽいわ。の服着た方がいいんじゃない？
なんで最近俺に。
This is insane.
てるんだと思います。
Just my 2 cents.
本当に篠宮が言ってそうなんだ。
会長は私のこといつから好き？
ずっと。
Quick texter.
私のことどれくらい好き？
篠宮が思うより。
大丈夫だったようで何よりです。
ここまで聞いてきたんだから、こっちの質問にも答えてもらうぞ。
This is amazing.
I love that feeling of it being dark in the room and you got a text message that makes you want to kick your feet.
今の篠宮、本当の篠宮はどれなんだ？
もう本当よ。誰だって。
God, this is so good.
会長とキスした日、幸せで胸がいっぱいになると思ってたの。寂しさがあった。なんでだろうって考えたら、私に全部を見せてくれない。
This is so real.
Look at them!
から告白したいって思ってるの。
マジですか？
で、お互い半分しか知らないまま恋人になるのはすごく悲しい。見せて、その上で。
Yep, like removing the mask.
あなたのすべてが好きだって言いたいの。
それは持ってるやつのセリフだよ。俺は篠宮が想像するのがずっとよ。
I couldn't think how this could have gotten better.
臆病じゃポンコツの俺がいいやつと渡り合う手段は一つ。よく時間をかけることだけだ。自分なんて一生見せるものを考えていようと、もうどうでもいい。つませで挽回するな時よりもっとうまく、もっと。
クリスマスイブの夜はやってくる。
We thought it was Herb diverging by ice coming out, but really now he's doing that.
You want to use the ending here as kind of like we can talk a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna turn down the volume a little bit. Oh my god. That it's hard to set, like, it's a movie, right? I'm not supposed to like split it up into parts. This entire movie has been absolutely amazing. The imagery, especially for this part, and like the composition of the shots, the color grading, desaturating everything else but the red and the blue. It's so good.
I think the shot that really truly got me, and they'd built up to it, and I didn't even realize what they were building to, but it was like as if you were listening to an orchestra and they were just slowly building to something. And it was to see Kaguya standing in front of that screen of both of them with masks on kissing.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I don't give enough credit to either of them. This episode, this part, man, I don't give enough credit to Miyuki. Like, and everything that he's gone through and what he still is going through and why he's always sleep deprived and why he works so hard and feeling like he won't be enough without that. I'll probably touch on this in the discussion too, but I find it very very real in a relationship that, you know, it's not like a 1-for-1 comparison, but even after the first kiss, that's not you're 100% transparent, everybody knows every side of you type thing. Like
everything's, all the work's done now.
Yeah, like. that's not it. Like, it takes time and communication and trust to like completely show somebody every aspect inside of you.
And trust isn't built overnight either.
Everyone looks so good. Whoa.
So, Kaguya went somewhere with Ishigami?
I love it. He looks so cute. Like that Hayasaka's doing her own thing.
So maybe instead of the wedding, we're having the baby at 17, like the grandfather.
Where do you think Maki's going? Oh no.
Oh no.
無難を通り越して面白みゼロ。
私は藤原。
That makes a lot of sense. Oh no. No. Oh no.
Did you hear the sirens?
Oh no! No! You spiked my brother's drink with something.
You see Chica hugging
yes.
him.
What do you mean, how do you...
Okay, so we had some laughs. Now what? Her outfit is so cute, I want it.
You don't really have to be perfect. And a twin brother. I'm down for that. That's playing dirty.
Chase after him! Yes! Oh! Jump over that gate like Mia murdered Mia! Yes!
The composure.
She's in little heels too.
This is everything I've ever wanted. How absurd, not how cute.
Exactly, not the trauma words.
Do you guys see like what you're doing?
Or balloons.
イブの夜に男女が2人、普通どうするんですか？
Wow.
でいいならやっぱこうじゃないか。
あなたを見せて受け入れるから、こういうのがロマンティックだと思う。何も隠すことなんて泣いてあげられるロマンティックです。きっと新しいあなたを知るたびに、あなたに初めてのキスをするのでしょう。
Oh my god.
手をつないでくれましたね。
背伸びをして生きるのは良くないことだと思うか？
としてほしくないとは思っています。
だけどそうしてなければ。
そうかもしれません。昔みたく会長に冷たくし続けていれ、どこかで愛想をつかされていたとで、一歩ずつ歩み寄ったから。
やっぱり背伸びは必要だ。
これからも倒れそうになるくらい頑張り続けるのでしょう。疲れた時は少しだけ一緒に休みませんか？
今年も雪は降らない。
いいんです。
We need the ordinary.
こっくりしましたが。
いやでもそれ結構上等なやつ。
やってみたい。違うわ。今のは流れ的に。私とは告るんですか？
手相を見せてくれる？あんまりいい恋愛してこなかったでしょ。あと君結構純粋だね。そしてしてしまうと手相。
Look at all the bags behind.
I relate to this.
言葉にするからややこしくなると思います。
振られたらどうしようとかビビってみたり、ちょっと駆け引きしてみたり、そのタイミングを狙ってみるけど。
あなたが好き。私恋人になって。
気になり告白し結ばれる。
わかった。
だが世界で最初にそれを使うことができるのである。
Okay, that was Kaguya-sama Love is War, The Kiss That Never Ends. It was a movie.
That was so good.
I wish we got to see it in theaters a little bit.
I wish I could like hug the little Kaguya on my lap like Ice Kaguya had her.
Yeah.
And be like, "You're so cute. You're so sweet. She wants to be sweet." Wow, that was good. That was really good.
It's like, it's a little surreal, like, getting here in the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't believe, like, I can't believe it happened, you know? It's like, it's kind of like Tom and Jerry a little bit. Like, you never, like, you're so used to tuning in and seeing, like, the fighting that when those, like, real moments come, like, it catches you off guard in a way that it, like, I don't know if I've ever seen, I don't watch a lot of romance stuff, but I don't know if I've ever seen something this, like, this thorough, well thought out, so much time has elapsed, and then it just, they just go for it.
There was really great emotion of what this movie did when we had that finale where with all the balloons, and it was so grand and it was so dramatic and it was so romantic, and the hype of that, the hype of this first kiss between the two of them, all the balloons, all the hijinks. It was literally like a 3-parter, that finale.
Yeah.
Of all the hijinks and all the things that were going on in order to amount to this moment, this climactic moment. And to have the kind of raw, kind of vulnerable and authentic underneath in this movie, I really enjoyed this. I feel I might seem kind of like monotone or like I have no emotion within me, but it's and like drained. I guess, because I was like, I'm just so like, wow.
That's where I'm at. You know, I think that one of the reasons why I was like thinking in my head that, oh yeah, the kiss in the clock tower, the balloons, you know, the balloon covering it up, whatever, that has to be in. I don't think that every time the anime proves to me that it can go deeper and do it so well, like I'm just like it blows me away, and it's just another instance here. Like it's so well done, and I didn't think they'd go like okay, it would have been a lot easier. I think that before they kissed, it probably was a lot easier to write in a good way. It in my perception would be a lot harder for at least me to write this kind of stuff and it still be good. Mm-hmm. And they did it. And I love it. I loved it.
Because what this movie was deciding to talk about things that were hinted at or given brief screen time throughout the other seasons. Mm-hmm. Things that we were kind of just were planted to at what it seemed to be just a better understanding for the audience of kind of the personalities of these characters. But to actually take it the step further and show how and why these two can work as a couple and continue on as a couple, other than the fact that, oh, on the surface level, they're both high achievers, they're both stubborn, there's a lot of qualities, they have this fun dynamic of back and forth, and they both love each other. But those are all, like, really surface. Like, It doesn't have anything to do with the longevity of an actual real relationship. And I think that Love is War and love being a game for those first couple seasons of the show, it was all fun and games, you know, to some extent. And every time we got a little deep moment, like, yes, we were kind of almost sometimes shocked by it, and emotionally shocked by it, because that wasn't really what we were used to from getting all these little
such
bits,
high quality
these little
time.
Bits. And then to have a whole movie that, yeah, there were a few funny bits, you know, in it. Just going to Chica's house is like, because we just watched that, is going to be one of my examples of a funnier bit.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of raw and vulnerable that was in this episode. And I think the last time, I don't want to say the last time, but one of the bigger moments in this show that I felt that there was such a sense of like raw and vulnerability was probably Ishigami's episode.
I'd agree with you.
And so there was something, I'm really happy to have gotten this. There were some really great lines, and I think that as a whole, as the person who's seen romance anime mm-hmm. and have other shows that are beloved, that I love, there's something about the ordinary that is one of the reasons that I love watching romance anime, because it makes a big deal a lot of the time about the little things that build up the tension, the love, the crush, the anticipation, the nervousness, the wavering, being only an inch away from the other person becomes this big thing, and this big thing to the person, because, you know, in reality, if you have a crush on someone, it is.
Yeah.
Like, cinematically, it might not seem like a big deal. Like, oh, is that really dramatic to have the actor or the character be an inch away from the other person and then but to have them be all flustered over it, or hands brushing accidentally, just the little things, and then it makes the bigger things which way more emotionally impactful, like an actual kiss at the end. I just have a lot of appreciation for those ordinary things, and I think that a lot of people who like the romance genre, that is one of the things that, like, sure, big romantic gestures are exciting to see, but I think for myself, at least personally, I prefer the cute things. I prefer the sweet things in watching it, romance media and reading. I prefer the sweet things, the ordinary things, the things that make me be like, oh, that was so cute, and blush and squirm a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really liked this.
I can't believe how much I adored and was taken aback and in awe of them having a conversation. Their entire interaction,
like an actual conversation
at the playground, like it's so refreshing, delightful, well written, and like surprising. Like every emotion I feel, and I love it. Like, and it's great and it's cute and like I like love, but
a warmth of the heart. I feel a little warm inside.
We're so used to seeing them talk like that to everybody else and to themselves except each other, that it, like, I was like, holy shit, it's gonna happen, and it was happening, and I was just in awe, like
calling each other out, being truthful, being real with their words. Like, they're so ready to be, I guess, more real with everyone else than each other.
They had and of course have like such a vast understanding of each other without ever talking about it. And that leads my mind to like, well, if, like, I can only imagine what their relationship's going to be like and the conversations that they're going to have, and whenever they face a dilemma or a situation, how they're going to be able to get through it together, because they already have this foundation of, like, oh my god, when Miyuki was saying no, like I always liked that part of you. I saw it from the beginning before like anything else happened. I could see that you weren't alone because, you know, you just wanted to not be around people. You were doing it to try to help people. Like, I was like, holy shit, dude.
It takes you back to the text message conversation that Herthuka was having with Miyuki while she was playing a game with Kaguya, where she asked Miyuki in the text message since when, like, how long, you know, and in whatever his response was, Kaguya was like, oh, well, we hadn't met by then, or something of the sorts. And it's like, it just, that kind of further gave more what's the word? Gave more depth, gave more evidence, gave more fullness to Miyuki later talking about when he first noticed her and when he first noticed who she was. And I think that the beautiful thing is that neither of them, pride was the issue season 1. Pride was the word. Ego, pride, not wanting to be the one that wins or loses, was the thing. But really, the pride was not wanting to release your own mask because you figured that the other person was in love with your masked self, when really both of them were in love with what was underneath the mask and all the parts of it. Even the fact that they, you know, every part, even the bad parts, even the need to feel like you need to be masked.
It's crazy because, like, it shows, like, how powerful your own mind is for you as a person, because each of these characters in their own way were like, this is a huge thing that I am covering up. Like, he hasn't seen it. Like, she hasn't seen it yet.
Big monster in the closet.
Yeah, like, she will think it's disgusting, and awful, disillusioned, ugly, like, this horrible thing. And, like, the multiple Kaguyas, right? But even though that both of these people built up this, you know, monster in their heads, and how big of a surprise it was, it's crazy to think that they had known about it through each other the entire time. Like, that's part of the, they've have already dealt with it, and, like, not dealt with it. That's why they love them. It's a part of them, and they love that.
I think what it comes down to is a line that Kaguya said, which kind of is one of my biggest kind of mottos in life, or things that I think is true. And Kaguya has a line that says, someone who can love herself. And I strongly believe that if you are not working on loving yourself or trying to love yourself, then you cannot be in a successful relationship. You might not 100% love yourself, but as long as you are trying to love yourself, like if you found out that the person you love doesn't love themselves, it's just like, what?
Yeah.
But like, how can you not? And that's almost upsetting. Like, and so as long as you're trying your hardest every day to appreciate who you are and love yourself a little, it means something to your partner.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I appreciate that, like that sentiment, and I agree with it, but it's so interesting that, like, obviously it wouldn't help or anything, like, in the grand scheme of loving yourself, but it's like, oh, this person's trying so hard to love themselves and accept all of these things that are literally nothing to the other person who actually loves them, right? To the outsider who does love them. They're like, all these different points that you're making about why you don't love yourself, I have already seen them and read them all, and doubled down that I still love you for all of them, and that's why I love you. Like,
it's like, is it just human nature to be so critical of yourself?
Self-deprecating, hating.
And self-hating and self-loathing? Is that just like something all of us have to deal with? Possibly. I mean,
is that the illusion of pride? Is that like you don't want to accept that you can be anything but perfect?
Mm-hmm.
So even though other people can see that you're not, you're still living in the disillusion that you are.
And you'd never want someone else to know that you hate yourself.
Yeah.
You know? Or don't like yourself. You want to seem confident. Because then your fear would be that if other people can tell that I don't like myself, then they'd think there was something to not like.
It's so
or maybe they won't like me.
The whole, like, idea of show me all of you, what that really ended up being and is show me, like talk out loud, like the parts that you think you're hiding. That's not like even the show me all of you. It's your awareness of that, and you saying that I feel these insecurities, and saying that I feel this way, like communicating, right? That's what it is. It's so good.
There was a line that was not having anything to hide is the most romantic thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, to truly trust each other, to truly healthy communication, but also just opening your heart and soul and mind up to someone else, obviously is the most vulnerable and almost dangerous, terrifying thing to do. But another line I liked was, everything new I learn about you will be like kissing you for the first time.
Yeah. It's so interesting. Like, everything we've gotten in the series, like, is from their, like, how they described it, one half of them, right? Because they said they're both only showing one half of them, and I want to love all of you. And that, like, that ability to let the mask off, break the mask, and show your vulnerability and your imperfections allows one another to be able to lean on the other, like, right? Like that.
And that's kind of what Kaguya said there at the end. That was like, when we both need to break down our bravados, we can lean on each other.
You know the best part of it, though? I was scared. I think my default, like, what I was thinking was going to happen was, okay, no, you don't have to do that at all right now, right? You don't have to try at all to be perfect, and I'll still love you, because, well, that might be the case. Like,
it's not real.
It's not real, but also, like, do you really expect the other person to stop trying?
The expectations,
and if they do stop trying, do you think that they'd be happy with themselves? Like, it's not as easy as that.
No. You can't just be like, I love you for all of you, and boom, everything is right in the world now.
Yeah.
and suddenly you can be all of you openly for everyone, and there's no issues. You totally love yourself because someone else said I love you, and everything is sunshine and rainbows now. No. The partner, the person you love, is supposed to be that safe space and I'm sure for a lot of people it is. And I think for Kaguya and Miyuki, at the end there when she's saying that when we need a break from our bravados, like we can lean on each other. I think that's what she's saying, is that like you are safe to me and I can be all of myself with you and I can break down all of the walls I have up and rest in you, have relaxation in you, have safety in you and trust in you.
You know, one of my favorite lines, Kaguya saying, if you scratch the surface, this is who I am. Like the idea of like just a scratch.
Just a
right?
scratch.
Like that's all. Like that's how weak it is, regardless of how strong it looks. You know.
That is so.
It's so good.
I love that.
I like wanted to talk about some things that like I loved and wrote down. I loved the whole entire scene with the doctor and the doctor's assistant. I love the doctor's assistant.
So
we could
MVP.
not. Yeah, MVP. The grandson being Kashiwagi's boyfriend has got to be one of the best moments of this entire series.
Freaking hotel robes, and I'm like, stop! How about the wedding bells, not the baby?
Yeah. Oh my god. I could not believe that happened. Like, you could not have written it better. It was so perfect. I loved that. Well, I loved that Miyuki was lovesick. Like, I like the parallels. Both of them are going through very similar things, you know?
I mean, I am a strong believer that your mind and what you go through emotionally can totally manifest physically.
Yeah.
I mean, I get tummy aches from being stressed.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell, panic attacks exist. Like, anxiety. Like, of course, your mind can have physical repercussions on you. Miyuki's entire, like, recollection and talking about his mother absolutely broke me.
Seeing his room is what was the clincher for me. All of the signs. Like, that was the emotional, like, ooh, do we have you already? Are you in the palm of our hand? Oh, look at what Miyuki's room looks like with all of these written pieces of paper.
God, it fucks me up thinking about
that.
Man.
That was a lot for me. That was the thing that got me, was seeing a look inside his private space. The space that's how he's, I mean, on the line of someone who can love herself, like, that is Miyuki's safe space. That's his bedroom. And that's how what he's doing to himself is surrounding himself by written mantras and, like, things that he's superimposing upon himself. Like, it doesn't feel like a very warm, safe place to sleep at night. Like, there's something about it that just feels... I think that in a visual... It was a perfect visual representation of what he was describing as how he feels about himself and his ability to be the right person for Kaguya, or inability in his mind.
It was so good. Like, I'm like a visualization of like what that would look like, you know, like just like a hamster running on a wheel, and he has been running for years and like is so tired, but he doesn't look tired. You can only see that he looks tired because of the physical repercussions his body, like the toll it's taking.
Circles under his eyes.
Like, but he's like, he doesn't notice it. Like, he's just unfazed and just I think that like they give us a lot more of Kaguya and her family and like let us know a little bit more, I think, than Miyuki in the past, like in that deeper way of like tragedy. But seeing Miyuki's mom just walk away at the test results, I was like, you fucking bitch.
I think it feels really purposeful in terms of pacing of the story, because you just kind of hit something that I had been feeling. I had almost felt like, yeah, the couple is the protagonist for this love story, but I had always felt that Kaguya was the actual, like, main character if you had to pick one. And I think that what I really like from how this story ended is that we get into this movie and it's Kaguya at first that somewhat turns away from the being together and getting together and puts a wall up by Ice Kaguya coming out, and there being distance recreated between the two of them. But that was all surface distance. It wasn't true distance. What we got right after that was Miyuki literally almost in a what would be thought of as turning his back on and walking away. Like, he was like, this is not gonna work. I cannot show myself. At the same time that we're getting lines from Kaguya and the text messages from Herthika being that Kaguya just wants like ordinary, authentic, everything, souls bared to each other love. That is what she wants. And she says at the same time that Miyuki's like, no, I can't. She says to Hayasaka that she'll confess.
Yeah.
And to end the kind of pacing on that, of it feeling like most of the time it was just Miyuki kind of putting himself out there in order to continue to chase after Kaguya this whole time. This unattainable goal of Kaguya. And then to get her being the one that has the actual first opening of themselves completely, and him being at first not willing to open himself back up even though he recognizes that. And then just the way that went. The character that it kind of ended on as being, it was up to them. Because at the end there, it was up to Miyuki if they ended up together. He had to make the choice to open himself up.
God, I love this. I was going to say movie, I was going to say show. I love this series, you know. Demon Santa, that was pretty good. Same with, oh, bro. When, what's it, Moeha gave him the handcuffs, I like lost my shit, dude. That was the best thing ever. Kaguya's stillness.
Everyone's reactions.
Yeah.
Like, and then when Miyuki was like, this is perfect, and they show like everyone's reactions, and you just see Chika hugging Peisu. I was like, this is the best thing ever.
It was amazing. And then shortly after that, we got a little sneak peek into what was happening across the globe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Maki?
was Maki and her twin.
Seeking enlightenment.
Do you think that that's just solely based because of the conversation between Miyuki and her that led her?
Possibly.
It was amazing. I
think that Maki's journey throughout this whole thing is to realize that she has to, even though she loves someone, she has to let them go, because obviously at the end of this movie show, we get language like, you know, you never know if this person's your soulmate or it's eternal love. But that's not really the point. The point is that you want to love them and they love you and you want to be together.
Yeah.
And you want it to be the best love possible. And I think that Maki searching for to attain enlightenment
in India with her twin.
I think it's probably the best choice for her, because Kashiwagi and her boyfriend seem pretty happy.
Mikado Shijo. I want to learn about him. Okay. Another thing. The white, what would you call it? The bow.
The white bow?
Yeah. Amazing. I loved it. Do you think that okay, this show's definitely continuing. Is that going to be like a permanent new look for as long as they're together, do you think?
Is it continuing?
I would think so.
Well, I can't even answer that question now because I was wrong last time.
You're
so
right.
I'm like, sure, maybe. I mean, if anything, obviously there's a lot of stuff that I'd probably love to see, but I would say the biggest question marks for me,
oh, God.
or biggest loose ends.
So many.
I'm going to say the biggest to me is what we saw Tsubame remembering with Ishigami.
You. Yeah.
Like that, if I never learned what happened, what came of that conversation,
mm-hmm.
or if there's any future with Ishigami and Miko, or if Tsubame and Ishigami date, and what was that conversation, and Ishigami was obviously bearing his soul in a very, like, you know, he was covering her. It was a very, she couldn't escape his words. Obviously, he was probably confessing. She was wavering.
But, like, I need to know the actual lead up.
Right.
Like, based off
She
of,
wanted him to stay, obviously, after all the party guests left.
but
I'm assuming.
I didn't believe it because of like there's so much. I feel like there's a big gap in between what we saw and where we left off, and I need that bridge. You know, like I cannot wait to hopefully see what is going on there. I'm worried. Can I make a guess?
Yeah.
I am worried that since we got very specific descriptions of how everybody's drink was non-alcoholic, I am worried that Tsubame's drink was either spiked or she was drunk. And this is Ishigami caring for her and trying to, like, you know, make sure she's okay.
That's a theory.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that it said non-alcoholic on the screen every single time.
And like, I don't know, the way that Ishigami looks like he's talking to her, it's like eyes wide open, and I don't like see him. I don't know. He totally could be like, I love you, I'm confessing to you.
I have
but just
another theory of what it could be.
What?
It's possible that she might have, at first, the look on her face, it's possible that she could have been initiating some move of sorts, and he might have been upset by this.
Could be.
Like, not wanting to do something. Why are you doing this if you don't even know if you want to be with me, kind of thing? I could see Ishigami being upset by that.
Yeah. Or like her, because obviously the whole thing was based off of somewhat of a misunderstanding. Like, she could be like, okay, I've made my decision, here it is. And like, he's like, that's not
or
what
like, I haven't made my decision, but maybe we could like kiss or something.
Yeah.
Because it's
that's a
Christmas,
good guess, too.
you know, and we're celebrating. That maybe she was like, maybe I'll try that and then I'll know if I want to be with you. And he might have been like, F no.
Yeah. Did we learn what was Kaguya's present to Miyuki?
No. The box was empty. No, 100% it was the same ball cup toy.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It might have been empty. I'm pretty sure she went shopping with Ishigami, though. We got that kind of escalator view and she was in front, and then you see Ishigami's brushed out hair. Yeah. I dig his non-brushed hair.
Me too.
I prefer it.
I liked that when at the end Kaguya and Miyuki were walking, Chika had this look on her face, like just walking throughout the mall. Like it wasn't like she was looking for them, but that's just her regular shopping face, you know? That's her like retail therapy, I'm on a mission face. I love it.
I know that face well.
Man, I don't know. I love this series.
Love is complicated.
Love is complicated, and it's a lot easier to talk about things in other anime and describe them when I'm more used to that subject and feel like I use that terminology and language like, oh, the animation's great. That's a lot, like, I'm more comfortable stepping into that realm than I am trying to talk and dissect about something I don't think I've ever seen before on TV.
And luckily, this show makes a lot of fun, creative choices for composition and animation.
God.
So you have
good,
stuff that's maybe more easily attainable for you to talk about.
Or
think about.
But okay, I feel like on one hand, there was so many good shots this episode, this movie, right? The score was incredible. Like those are things that like are very easy for me to touch on, but yet I don't. That's not at that's not at what's at the front of my mind.
Not the point.
Like at the front of my mind, and what I really wish I could talk about and put into words that like do it justice is how well they are conveying a real relationship. And I've never read or watched or seen any piece of media that's delving this deep into it, yet consistently hitting every nail on the head. Like I'm almost like, okay, please continue at a very quick pace until they're 80, so I know the correct way to live my life. like you're like it's so good, man. I wish I had this when I was in like 15, you know?
They took these two very big personalities, these two characterizations, these two characters, and they took them through all these antics, showing their personalities and funny moments, and then they took those two and they put them in a real relationship that could be relatable and authentic to a viewer watching it, and that actually feels like these two personalities, these two people are actually starting and on their way and in a relationship.
Yep.
Appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Beautiful.
Can't
wait for what's next, because this isn't the end. And if it is, I don't care if I look stupid. Because
I've already been stupid before, so we can just do it again.
I'm not trying to make a guess right now. No. I'm just saying I want more of
If there's more, I will happily take it. Give me some answers to the Ishigami Tsubame situation.
The animation's so good too. Like, and the voice acting. Oh my god.
Interesting choice to make Miyuki's father be a side job fortune love teller. God, interesting choice.
I don't know if it was Miyuki's dad, but at one point... No, it's not. I want to know if the doctor's voice actor is the same as Dimple's voice actor from Mob Psycho. I want to just pull up anything of him talking right now to show you, to see what you think.
Doctor was pretty early. Doctor might have been... Episode. Yeah, it was part 3.
Mm-hmm. But there was a couple lines that I was like... It's of course, I am very bad at trying to discern voice actors, especially in Japanese as well, because I don't speak fluent Japanese. But it felt like it was what was going on. Especially when we got the close-up faces, which is also something that reminds me of Mob Psycho.
Dimple. Yeah. I mean, Dimple even in particular.
But listen.
Maybe.
What about here?
Oh, maybe.
It did kind of remind me of Dimple's voice actor in Mob Psycho, but I could be wrong. I don't know. It's a reach. But anyways, that's all I have for you.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching this movie with us. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully when Kaguya does come back, you'll
or for the next romance, if it doesn't come back.
Yes, I do want to watch more romance. If you have romance suggestions and for some reason you are still listening to us talk, please let us know anything you think we'd like or anything you really like. But until next time.